As a daughter of the South and a sister in the struggle, Alice Walker chose her weapon against injustice at an early age. Known around the world for her novels, essays, poems, and books, she has never shied away from telling the world what they needed to hear. Born and raised in Georgia to sharecropping parents, Alice Walker's journey as an activist was first inspired by the work of Dr. Martin Luther King in the Civil Rights Movement. Enrolling at Spelman College in 1961, Walker had the opportunity to study with renowned historian and social critic Howard Zinn. Following 2 years at Spelman, Walker left the South to enroll at Sarah Lawrence College in New York. Though moving to the North, Walker continued as an active member in the struggle of the South, spending her summers working for the movement and participating in the 1963 March on Washington. Following her graduation from Sarah Lawrence in 1965, Walker became a full-time activist, returning to the South to help initiate a welfare rights movement and joining the voter registration campaign. Following her work with the civil rights movement of the 1960s, Walker entered into the feminist movement of the 1970s as an editor for Ms. Magazine, and has since then remained firm as a leading voice in the international women's movement. As a pioneer of the womanist movement, Walker brought attention to the unique experiences of African American and other women of color. Furthermore, she developed and taught the country's first African American women's writers class at Wellesley. Focusing many of her works on the lives of African American women, Walker reveals the sexism, racism, violence, and poverty that has been a part of her experience and that of women around the world. Her 1983 Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, The Color Purple, frankly addressed taboo issues of race, gender, class, and domestic violence in the United States. Her truth-telling message was also extended to a mainstream audience through Steven Spielberg's film adaptation of the novel. In the 1990s, Walker brought the issue of female genital mutilation in Africa and the Middle East to the attention of the public. Attacking the ritual of female circumcision as oppressive and an offense to human rights, Walker used the subject as the dominating theme for her novel, Possessing the Secret of Joy, as well as writing the nonfiction book Warrior Marks, which she helped adapt to a documentary film. While bringing much attention to the marginalized stories of women of color, Walker has been a strong advocate for oppressed communities throughout the world. In addition to countless writings, her tireless commitment to human rights activism has shown through her speeches, travels, filmmaking, and participation in protests and civil disobedience actions. Being involved with anti-apartheid and anti-nuclear work, speaking out against the Cuban embargo, and adamantly speaking out against the 1990s Gulf War, Walker continues to commit her time and energy to the peace movement of today. As a renowned author, poet, and activist, Alice Walker's lifelong work not only demonstrates the might of the pen, but continues to give a face to the unseen, a voice to the unheard, and a vision for the unknown.